So the previous segment, we talked about the whole ordeal of WandaVision and Kevin Feige's excuse of basically not allowing the whole shtick. This is what he said. This wasn't what my idea was. The other character that's in your universe that is familiar with magic, you didn't make him appear because of his race. And he was he's a white guy, right? So, white male, bad. That's what he said. That's not my interpretation of it. That's what he explicitly said. In the Rolling Stones deal, when he says, hey, we didn't want this white guy to show up. Okay. Bam. The hilarious thing is they did not offer that same energy when it came to other things. So this is the problem that they seem to have with the latter half of the last phase and the future of the next phase. They don't want white guys being in some sort of role in a more it's not even like a mentor. It's more of a prominence, a role of prominence, because his argument makes absolutely no sense. And I will show you why. Or I'll tell you why yet again. The Ancient One was tokenized, but in a way that we almost will never see. But the reason being is that's the appeal to China. They did not want the Ancient One. For those of you that don't know, is not a bald head ass white woman. That was not the Ancient One. The Ancient One was a monk from fucking Tibet. That's who the Ancient One was. But in the appeal to China, there was no way that they were going to allow that to happen. So what was the best option? Which is a rarity. You rarely see that when you go from something like that to a white person. That rarely ever happens. But they made her into this sort of androgynous, but basically this bald head white woman. That's who the Ancient One was. The Ancient One obviously taught Doctor Strange to be Doctor Strange. That was allowed. That's not the only example, though. The most, which I would argue, I made the argument, the most criminal movie in the not just because of its placement, but because of what happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe prior to, or let's say up to now. Captain Marvel, the movie. What was one of the reasons I said that was an issue? Marvel, who you guys understand is a character that I'm very knowledgeable on. And they pained me to see what they did to Marvel. They tokenized Marvel in that they changed Marvel into a woman. But she comes in this like sacrificial mentorship kind of role to who? Captain Marvel. So this is what they're saying. It's okay for the white women to be in that prominent role going forward. That's fine. Guy, no. We can't have that. See, even with Doctor Strange, him himself, he can be influenced almost entirely by way of the Ancient One, who was a white woman, but he couldn't influence Wanda. He couldn't be a mentor or teacher. So which again, I'm not saying that should have happened. That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you what the excuse was by way of Feige. I'm not saying it should have happened. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen. I'm just saying that that was his excuse. So we gotta peel that. Let's talk about it. He can be influenced by a white woman, but he can't influence a white woman. The white woman is above all. I think Captain Marvel kind of showed y'all that, nonetheless. But I just thought that was an hilarious thing, that he would dare even say that, despite the fact that he himself was influenced by a white woman. Couldn't repay the favor? That's not on the table? No, of course it's not on the table. Why would that be on the table? But there, of course, are more examples of the white women being more prominent. But look, the argument that a lot of weird people would make. The people that don't want to listen to what it is you say. Some of those are on YouTube, and some of those don't like me or have things to say that are completely just straw men of my position. And they think when you bring stuff up like this, it's like, hey, you're a hero, then like you want the white man to be a prominent. First of all, nobody made that claim. You dumb son of a bitch. That was never the claim. In fact, I've been the most defensive of non-white characters, period. Why do you think I hate tokenization so much? Why do you think I hate line skipping so much? It's because there are a long list of black, for example, original characters that you can bring up. Despite that, however, you decide to take the classically white characters and change them. Now their recent deal is that now it's okay. It's not like, don't get me wrong, it ain't like Kevin Feige gonna step down from his position. That ain't gonna happen. It's okay for him to be in charge, but you know, it's a signal thing, right? It's like, make myself look good. Look at me. I didn't have the white man come by and teach someone how to use fucking magic, despite me having a white woman teach him. Now that was permissible. That was allowable. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has told you what direction that they are going in. Okay? I think you'd be foolish not to pick up on that and anticipate and expect that. I called it from the get-go with Captain Falcon, for example. Not only because the book, it happened, it was a recent phenomenon. It's like they did it. It's like they tailor-made it for the book so they could make it happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nonetheless, I knew that was going to happen. And it wasn't hard to predict that was the racial aspect was the reason why they made it happen. And they were going to make sure you knew about that. They were going to explore that as a topic. And they were going to make sure that you knew about that. And people would be like, look at my previous video. You don't have no idea. Who says that they're going to do that? It was like, you idiot. Have you not been picking up on what the hell has been taking place? Anybody could have predicted that. But you want to be hard-headed. Fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going by what it is that they're saying. So it's interesting. But that is going to be of some conflict to what it is that you're going to see with some of the adaptations of future characters, particularly future straight white ones. More than likely in the future, they're going to be either entirely demoted or they're not going to be straight and white, meaning they're going to be tokenized. So that if they are of an authority figure, that's the case. Like I said, you are on crack cocaine. If you for once think that they aren't going to fuck up the Fantastic Four, which is Marvel's number one, it's the first family of Marvel. You're fooling yourself if you don't think there's not gonna be tokenizations galore there. You think they're gonna allow a straight white functional family with definitely a white dude at the helm, kind of in the leadership role, as awesome as Invisible Woman is? You think they gonna have that happen? You're crazy. Ain't no way in this climate they're gonna allow that to happen. A straight white functional family. It's not gonna happen. Don't count on it. But they're telling you that that's not something that they want to entertain. So expect more tokenization, expect more line skipping, and expect guys like that man up there, right there that I'm pointing to be completely neglected.